it's my pleasure to be here at Mwananchi Communications today, just 2 days after I have seen the launch of your new look of the Thecitizen magazine. And for the business community, I think it's very important, the Citizen newspaper, because you have said be much more focused on business. And it is good to have a business newspaper because business needs the news, needs to know what's going on to also make their business decisions. And we've talked about NMB Bank and the business community and the economy where we are today, which is challenging, has been challenging for this year. But we also talked about the future and how we see that going forward there are some positive signs that we see the loans growing rather than declining. We see the business activity increasing. We just talked about how NMB Bank has opened 26 new branches since the beginning of this year, and how all of these branches see a lot of business activity. And it's very important also for the bank, but also for the economy, to bring more of the informal economy into the formal economy. If money is underneath the mattress, there's not much that we can do with it in the formal economy. But if money is actually finding its way onto bank accounts and deposits, the banks can use that money to turn around and provide short-term loans to the business community. And then we can support the business growth of the country, which is what we would all like to see. Because if business grows, economy grows, and if the economy grows, we'll do better as a country as a whole. So that's, in general, what we talked about. We talked also a little bit about the big value of independent newspapers and independent reporting. And from the country where I come from, the Netherlands, it's very obvious that it is the investigative journalists who uncover a lot of maybe unacceptable activities. And the more investigative journalists you have, more you're able to continue to be honest in the way you do your business. The banking sector has a big role to play. The government has an ambitious industrialization agenda, and there's money needed for that agenda. There's a large amount of funding needed, too big for the banking sector in Tanzania to all take on board. So it will be a combination of government funding, where the government will get funding from the international financial sector and from institutions like the World Bank and other international multilateral financial institutions. There will be funding needed from the long-term funders in Tanzania, which is the pension sector. We should look for funding from the international investors who still look at Tanzania as a very favorable country to invest in. And there's the role of the Tanzanian banking sector for the high amount of working capital needed, guarantees, letters of credit. So it's all the players together which will need to fund the industrialization agenda of the current government.